Hi, Queens. I wanted to chat with you today about online courses. I've seen that there's a lot of coaches out there that have online courses, and I wanted to tell you that during COVID, I took an online course on how to teach an online course. And I had drawn up the whole path of how I would train somebody for pageant coaching. But what I found is it's too watered down. The biggest important part of preparing someone for a pageant isn't just generalized information, but it's about helping that person discover and find their purpose, discovering and finding their platform, determining a platform name, figuring out what organizations she could be partnered with, finding out what are her strengths, what are her weaknesses, being honest with her about what she needs to do to improve her look, to really conform it to what this system really wants in terms of wardrobe, hairstyle, etc. Giving personalized service cannot be underrated or understated enough. I have to tell you, I've seen that these packages out there are costing upwards of $1,600 and you're getting generic information. I'm going to tell you something, ladies. If you're willing to spend $1,000 for an online course, you should be buying a coaching package with a real honest coach. Secondly, I'm going to tell you this. There are many coaches out there who are so inundated, have so many clients, they are the hot in demand because they are recommended by your director and the director has a relationship with them. Or maybe she's a previous queen. Just because she won the title previously doesn't mean that she can teach. And I'm just pointing that out because it's taken me many, many years to learn how to teach someone. There's a certain personality that's able to assess somebody, identify their strengths and weaknesses, and give a mature analysis of what it is that needs to be improved in order to be successful in the pageant. Listen, if I had every day women coming up to me who were 5'10", gorgeous, and had a size 2 body, I would probably be having a lot of national winners, but I don't. So I deal with everyday women of all ages, of all body types, of all walks of earth, of all levels of experience, from zero to having years of experience. And I'm going to tell you that it's so crucial that everyone gets independent and individualized experience and service from a coach. That means not generic. Don't waste your money in these online programs. It's not worth it. What I did instead of going ahead and doing an online course is I created a handbook. It's a PDF file of 100 pages of those generics, those basics. And I have to tell you, I've seen what some of those basic programs are. They're not teaching you anything. I'm giving you tips, tricks, exact questions that you'll be asked, how to answer, tell me about yourself, how to answer a final question by actually verbatim writing out final answers so you can see what are women saying. I'm saving you hundreds of hours of research online trying to find where can I get a pageant hair headshot done? Where can I get my hair done? Who do you recommend for wardrobe? Where's the online shop I look for swimsuits? Where do I find custom gowns? All of this stuff was condensed and put into that book, The Winner's Way, the PDF file. I can send that to you, and ladies, that's $75 that you will thank me later for. You don't need to spend $1,600 in an online course on generically telling you to find your purpose and to find a legacy project. You don't need to spend the money. What you do need to spend the money on is honest feedback, someone who's able to assess you, someone who's willing to ask and ask and ask and ask you questions until she finds out finally what is your why, what is your identifying purpose, and how are we going to express that. Because I'm a TV host and I've sold thousands and thousands, actually I'm going to say tens of thousands of products on air, and I had to do so in 4 minutes or less. I'd get a show with up to 30 items in it. I'd have to learn the bullet points of each of those items and be able to deliver them on camera very quickly. So I was able to suss out what's a waste of time and what's important to know. Get rid of that. We don't need to know all these details. So I'm really good at taking the basic facts and the most important facts and bringing them to the forefront. That's what I do for you as a coach, is I'm helping you to see these are the important facts. Stay away from the rest. I have so many women who are like, I'm involved in 10 different charities. You're muddying the water. You must have a specific goal. in mind. What are you going to do with this title? Why do you want this title? Listen, I'm involved with a lot of charities too, but when I'm in a pageant, I have to throw away hundreds of hours of service that I could talk about because it's not relevant. Stay relevant. Find the coach that really suits your needs and who's going to be honest with you. I don't tell every single one of my clients the same thing. I'm not giving them cookie cutter advice along the way. And I'll tell you what, I think my coaching package is one of the most affordable that you can possibly find. It's $550 for 5 one-hour sessions, plus I include my Winners Way workbook up to 100 pages. And let me tell you, if you read that in your spare time, you are preparing yourself. So that's really crucial. Listen, I'm giving you this as a public service announcement. I have had many coaching sessions with many different coaches, and I did not always get the information I needed. It wasn't always a thorough preparation. I've been disappointed. I felt ripped off. I have felt like I was abandoned. I have gone to nationals with literally one meeting with my coach because she didn't think I'd win. And all she did was look at my wardrobe and say, great. Literally nothing. So I'm telling you, if your coach is not paying attention to you, if they don't have time for you, if they can't fit you in for 4 months, you are with the wrong coach. Additionally, if she never criticizes you, never says there's one thing you need to fix, if she's always your cheerleader, wonderful, wonderful, great, great, fabulous, she's not helping you win. There is no way that you can be doing everything amazing in your first pageant. There's no way that every single thing you come up with on your own is perfect or exceptional, because we don't know. You don't know until you know, and it takes a long time to know. And the reason I know is because I've done it. So I've been competing since 2007, and my very first pageant, I did not have a coach. And believe me, it was a failure. I didn't make top 5. But the second year, I decided I was going to make sure I was prepared on every level, from the fitness to the wardrobe. I got an amazing gown, really spectacular. It fit and suited my body. It was way beyond my budget. I decided if I'm going to do this year, I'm just going to do it 100%. And if I don't win, then guess what? It's not for me. Then I'm not pretty enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not whatever enough. I was willing to accept that. Are you really going in whole hog? Are you 100% committed to your process? Because if you're not, I will push you, but at the same time, I will call you out. Because if you are not doing the work in between sessions, if you're coming in and you haven't done one thing that was on the list to do, I'm going to call you out because I want you to know you're investing not only in yourself, but I can't want it more than you can. The other thing is you're spending thousands of dollars competing in a pageant. Why wouldn't you invest your time and money and energy into a coach? One thing I'll say is I coach all ages from littles on up, but when I'm coaching really little ones, I'm coaching their moms because those moms need to be able to have their daughter practice every day. How do I know? I'm a pageant mom. My daughter won many titles, multiple titles. She won national titles, state titles, international titles starting at the age of 6. So I know what it takes, and I had to learn myself because I had never experienced little girl pageants when I grew up. I started doing pageants at 41. So frankly, I didn't have that wherewithal. I didn't know about glitz or natural or what all this was, what makeup is appropriate, what gown is right. I didn't know. That's why it's so crucial that you work with somebody who understands. So I've had several national winners in the National American Miss Pageant system, which has a wonderful age range from 6 years old, where my daughter won, all the way up to Miss. And that's one division. But because I'm a Mrs., I've also had multitudes of Mrs. winners because I've competed in Mrs. America, Mrs. United States, Mrs. Galaxy, Ms. World, Mrs. USA Earth. I'm currently Mrs. Elite Universe. I was Mrs. United Nations, crowned in Jamaica. I did Mrs. Royalty International. I won that one. Mrs. Premier World. So you get it. I mean, I'm speaking to you from experience, and I'm just trying to save you time, energy, and money, and also from being duped. I'm a Scorpio, and I really believe in honesty, but I also believe in justice, and I don't like it when people are lied to, pushed to the back of the line, duped, scammed, and all the rest of it. So that's why I'm someone who speaks out. I don't have partnerships with gown shops. I'm not someone who is selling out you for making someone else happy like a director just to throw bodies on a stage. I don't do that. When you hire me, you're hiring me for you. I'm your advocate. It's like an attorney. If you have an attorney, you're hiring them to do what's best for your interest. And that's what I'm here for. So whatever it is that you'll need along your journey, I help you from A to Z. The booklet that I provide with my services really is just to fill in the blanks, give you resources, tell you where to shop, where to find things. Yes, you'll send me pictures. Yes, I'll take a look at everything and I'll say yay, nay, yay, nay. I will have in there shoes because everyone wants to know where to get shoes. So they're in my book as well with a discount code for the Mark DeFang shoes in particular. I give 25% off on all of his items. So the cost of the book is included. If you want to just buy the book itself, you certainly can. So please reach out to me for that. Secondly, I want you to think, if there's one coach who's coaching everyone on the stage, why would you coach with them? Are you going to get better advice or different advice? Are you going to get an edge over competitors because you're learning something different? What I've seen is that pageant coaches will know who their possible winners are going to be for a myriad of reasons. One is her beauty. Number two, her experience. Number three, her pocketbook. If she's got a lot of money to spend, she can buy a custom Sherry Hill gown, right? If she doesn't, it's going to be more challenging, requires more work. So I look at it as if you're older, if your body's not perfect, if you're shorter, you need to do everything you can to be the best in every single category, like big time, because we're at disadvantages, right? I'm not exceptionally tall. I'm 5'5". I'm, as I age, it's harder to lose weight, right? So you've got to look at what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and really work hard accordingly. And even in Miss USA, you could be the most gorgeous creature in the world, but guess what? There are going to be a ton of gorgeous women. So how are you going to stand out on stage? If you're all coaching with the same coach, is she going to have a favorite? Is she going to tell this girl to wear this because she knows that's what wins, and then let the other girls pick whatever they want? I'm telling you to be cognizant, to have good judgment, to really think it through, to make sure that your coach has your best interests at heart and that she's really putting effort and energy into you. I answer wardrobe questions all the time. It's not just during our session. I'm getting texts and messages and being shown pictures. I respond to those immediately. Does your coach respond immediately? Do you want that kind of response? I think you do. And again, I've hired so many people. I just haven't really found, I think also because I am older, and if I have a much younger coach, she just really can't help me. I mean, unfortunately, I did have to waste some money to figure that out. It isn't going to help me because there's a maturity level that she doesn't have. I do also feel like, I wasn't able to get honest feedback about what I needed to work on. It was all sunshine and roses and kitten tails. And I need someone to tell me really, where are my weaknesses? Where do you see me needing to improve? Or what do you think my interview could use that could make it better? So it's really challenging. Honesty is probably one of the most sought out commodities that I would say in the coaching arena that just ain't available. I do provide it in spades, and hey, it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to hear the truth. If you're ready for a win, then I say I'm a great coach for you. If you're someone who's really, you're feeling like, well, I just want to have fun this time around, maybe find a different kind of a coach who is a little bit more of just a cheerleader and she's not directing you on what to do next. Because there are those people who just love doing pageants just for the sake of being around girlfriends, making friends, getting dressed up, looking pretty. For me personally, it's a very expensive slumber party. So I'm not really in it just to make friends. I mean, that comes along with the territory, obviously. Every time I compete, I meet new people, I make new friends, but that's not the primary driver for me. So I do think you need to really analyze where you're going, what your goals are, and how serious are you to committing. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I have a private Facebook page. It's called The Winners Way. And then you can join that. We'll approve you for that as soon as you answer the questions. And then I also have my traditional page, which is The Winners Way with Wendi Russo on Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me at Wendi/Russo. And my last name is spelled with an I, just so you know. I'm really open to your questions. I'd love to give you feedback, but please don't waste your money on online courses. Bye, everyone.